Good morning. Just finished brushing my teeth. That's one of the things you won't see me do is brush my teeth or take a shower. But you will see my skincare routine. And that's what I'm getting ready to do this morning. I'm Donna. I'm 66. I'll be 67 in December. And I like taking care of my skin. I really do. I use this Medicube. Now before that I used Clinique. I was using Clinique since the 90s. But I switched to Medicube the early part of the year. And I really love it. Now, they tell you to just use your hands to wash your face with. But I use my trusty brush. And that's just my preference. But I must tell you that Medicube don't advise you to use your brush, but I do. And you see, it only takes a dab. I've had this for a few months. Doesn't take long, a lot at all. But I like my brush. I'm gonna use my brush. I think that also helps with the circulation in your face. Don't know that to be sure, so that's a disclaimer. I'm not sure about it because I'm not a doctor, not a nurse. I've never done anything in the medical field. It's just that I think this is what's kept my skin looking fresh and young. I want to try out this light too, so I'm going to turn this light on and I want to see if it's a difference. So I'm going to turn it on and I want to see. Is it a big difference? Or is it not? So I just want to see. Testing out what I can do. Okay, so it's finished. It turns itself off. I meant to take a towelette out, and I didn't. So excuse me while I go in here and get one. I meant to take it out. I didn't. I took everything else out but that. So do that. Do that with my face every morning. Without fail, I'm gonna do my skincare. And I have a 7-day rotation that I do at night. Every night. So I also use this. I tend to stick with one brand mostly. Now it is some things that I may use from other brands. But mostly I stick with what works for me. So, and I got the little wrinkle thing that a lot of old ladies have because I'm 66. What can I do? I'm 66 years old. Some stuff just come with age. I use the fan to rush the drying process. Just taking care of me before I start taking care of everybody else, which is just me and my husband right now. So I'm saying right now because my mom lives up the street. She says she's gonna stay there till she's 95. We'll see. So that's why I say that's why I use the term for right now. Because any day she might wind up here. You know, I love my mom. And my husband loves her too. I'm putting this on there. This is a see if I have a box. If I have the refill box in here. No, I don't. It's these little salmon DNA things. I don't know if you can read it or not. I'll take that. I'll make sure I have it in here tomorrow when I do my skincare in the morning. I'll make sure I have it for those girlies. Who? And I say girlies because if you're young, you need to start taking care of your skin. And if you're old, start now. Can't do no harm, right? Only get better. So I'm gonna blow it again because I don't want no skin irritation. But you see how my face looks? Like I said, I have this little wrinkleness going on under there. And I also got a little thinness going on up here in my hair. But hey, I'm a cancer patient. Was given a date on my life back in 2005. I wasn't supposed to walk into 2013. And I walked into 2025 with a new attitude. So, this is my eye care. I use this, and it's a couple other that I use. The little overnight patches on the eyes. I use a few because I suffer with bags, and sometimes my eyes look like panda bears. And I think that's hereditary because all the women in my family do that. From my mom to my sisters, all of them had them dark spots under their eyes and bags and stuff. So I just think that's something that I inherited, like this thing up here, because sometimes I lose my hair up there. And when it gets thin, you might see me in a wig. And you might not. Depends on how I'm feeling. So. Oh, and I wanted to say this right here. I use it twice. Sometimes 3 times. Depends. Like, see, I still got some stuff in there. So I'm going to save that for tomorrow. Because it's real genuine. They give you a lot. They give you a lot. I don't have to say. They really do. This is what I'm going to put on my face. They tell you to take some of the jelly and the cube. Put it on your hand. And mix it in like that. I need to move the camera down too. Tomorrow I'll move it down. Well, when I do it tonight, move it down. Because I'll do a 7-day rotation. I live in the hood. But guess what? I take care of myself. Because when I realized that I was going to live, because I was so busy doing for everybody else and doing everything that I wasn't taking care of myself. And in 2005, I thought I pulled my back out. My son's girlfriend at the time, because he's, anyway, my husband wasn't home. So my son's girlfriend at the time came and took me to the emergency room because I couldn't take myself. That's just how bad I was that day. I could not take myself. So she came and she took me to the emergency room. And this intern, and I am so ever grateful and just thankful, because the people who needed to be in place when Donna came to the emergency room was there. And I am so grateful, because the young man that was there was an intern. So fresh that he had just had a lesson on what was going on with me. But he didn't realize that at the time. He gave me a CAT scan, because he said that what I was complaining about and what was going on with me, because I was complaining about a backache, but everything, it was stuff coming from the front and the back. And he said that wasn't consistent with a backache. So he gave me a CAT scan. Well, I could hear, I guess, I don't know if it was one of the residents or one of the attendings, disciplining him, telling him that he wasn't supposed to have done that. But because he had done that, they let him go ahead on and share it with me. So he came in, I'll never forget that day. He came in and he sat down next to my bed, and he says, and this is just how he said it, he was excited about it too. And I was like, why? Anyway, he came in and he goes, I'm not concerned about that diverticulitis you got. I'm concerned about that cancer you have on your liver and your lung. I said, what? My son's girlfriend, she started screaming and crying. I am forever grateful to her. Always. She can get whatever she needs from me if I got it. Anytime. They're not dating anymore, as far as I know. But I am forever grateful to that woman. Anyway, she screamed and she hollered and she cried. You would have thought she was my child. I was numb. Because, I knew I was sick. You know how you know you're sick? Well, I knew I was sick. And it was almost like confirmation. Like, oh, okay. That's how I took it. Like, okay. So now I know why I feel like I do every morning when I got up. Because I was running a business. So now I knew. So much so, I'm absorbed by that business that I didn't look out for myself. I wasn't my own advocate, because the doctors, every time I went for a doctor's appointment, they asked me, how much did I drink? And I always told them I didn't drink. And they said when I checked my medical records, it said, one of the things it said, that's why I said be your own advocate. One of the things it said was, she consistently denies that she's an alcoholic. I wasn't an alcoholic because I wasn't drinking. But because that cancer has spread it to my liver, it presented itself as cirrhosis of the liver. So when I was getting my blood work at my primary care doctor, which is not my primary care doctor, by the way, anymore, but when I was getting my blood work and stuff done, I didn't go any further. I didn't say, well, why you keep asking me that every time I come to the doctor? Why are you asking me that? Because and I'm going to just tell you, if you got a doctor asking you the same question over and over, go further. Find out why they're asking you that, because I didn't. Anyway, anywho, So they diagnosed me with carcinoid at the age of 40. I think I was like 48, something like that. And they said I was so young to have that disease, to have for it to have metastasized, because it had spread it, metastasized, what they call a distant spread, because it has metastasized to my liver and my lung. So they sent me to Duke because they said, well, I met, first of all, that day in the emergency room, once they admitted me, I met my oncologist, who's my oncologist right now today. And he was 30 at the time. So I met him. The doctor that found it, he was like, we just went over this yesterday in class. So that's why he was excited, because he had just, they had just covered what it was. And he called it just like it was. He called what it was, which was carcinoid. So what I have is I have the carcinoid syndrome, which has a lot of different things that goes on with it. But one of the things that goes on with it is some sort of like Crohn's disease. But when I get bouts of it, sometimes I have a warning, sometimes I don't. So sometimes I can make it to the restroom. Other times it's out before I even knew it was coming. Yeah. So it doesn't happen often now that I'm on medication, but it still happens periodically. So anyway, he got me hooked up with the oncologist that I am with now. They sent me to Duke, even though it was diagnosed here. They sent me to Duke for a second opinion because they said that I was so young to have that disease. So went there. They did their own liver biopsy, which was I think it was a guided needle. I can't remember. It was an ultrasound guided needle, I think, something like that. Anyway, they did that. Matter of fact, I went up there, found out, got it confirmed the weekend after Thanksgiving. So we had Thanksgiving that Thursday. That Monday, I was at Duke, sitting in the doctor's office. Him, me, my husband, and my mom, sitting in the doctor's office. And they confirmed what they had already confirmed here in South Carolina. And I was like, Lord, I'm your girl. Why am I going through this? The big head. Not realizing that everybody goes through something. And I realized it, but just figure, hey, I'm that girl. I'm all up in God. I'm all up in my Lord and Savior. For me, I'm all up in Him. And I couldn't understand why I was going through that. Well, now today I know, because I'm a testimony. I'm a living, walking, breathing testimony. But at the time I didn't know that. So anyway, went through that, got my first treatment there. They treated me that day before I even left there, Duke. My husband asks the doctor, well, what's her prognosis? Because he called it a touch of cancer. And the doctor said, no, she don't have a touch of cancer. She has full-blown cancer. And he said, I'll never forget, he said her life expectancy is 5 to 7 years. They almost had, my mother and my father, my husband almost had to carry me out of there. Anyway, to at 48 to be given a date on your life. But prior to that, I said to the doctor, I said, I'm not receiving that in the name of Jesus. And he said, excuse me? And my husband was like, what? What are you talking about? My mother didn't say nothing. And I told the doctor, I said, I'm gonna do what you gotta do, but you just spoke death over my life, and I need to speak life to me. Because I should live and not die. So I said I had to speak life to myself, because you just spoke death to me. You just spoke death over Donna. And I said, but I'm going to do what you tell me to do. Whatever y'all tell me to do, I'm going to do that. Because Jesus walked with a physician. Everybody has a gift for something. So anyway, I'm not getting into religion. Anyway, so I came back that November. So in December, I got another treatment. And right now today, I get that same treatment. Well, they bumped it up 1 year because it was to a higher dose, which I'm thinking they're probably going to be doing it again. But anyway, they bumped it up that year. No, probably in 2014, they bumped it up. I had to have chemotization. And that's where they go into your liver through the groin area, like almost pretty much the same as a heart catheter. Only thing is they're going to the liver instead, where they deposit chemo straight into the liver. I had that done, and I had the radio frequency ablations done twice. One in 2006 and another one in 2014. Haven't had to have one yet again, and I'm so thankful for that. Because that ablations, I'm going to tell you, if you sneeze after that, that is a painful thing. Because you can actually feel the liver quiver. So, anyway, did that. So I say that to say, be your own advocate. Pull your medical records. Every year, like you pull your credit report, pull your medical records. You'd be surprised as what's up in it. Because the way you look, what your demeanor is, how you took certain information that the doctor gave you, how you didn't take certain information that they gave you. Because like I said, in my medical records, they said that she consistently refused to admit that she's an alcoholic, and I wasn't. Wasn't a drinker. But anyway, so that was in my medical records. Had I been getting my medical records, I would have saw that. So that's why I said, be your own advocate. And if you feel like something wrong in your body, go get it checked out. Because like I say, I knew I was sick, but I was too busy taking care of other people. Meaning, running my business. Had a lot of employees there. And cancer is expensive. I'll tell you right now, it will drain you. So, running my business, doing what I need to do to take care of everything, not taking care of Donna. So, the only thing I did for Donna consistently was take care of my skin. And I still do that. But the only thing now is I take care of all of Donna. So, I say that to say, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. That's how I start my morning. Every morning, I take my time and do me. I appreciate y'all. Hopefully, I hope that y'all will like and follow for more. As I put out more videos and more snippets of my life or what I'm doing every day. So hopefully y'all will follow me or subscribe to me. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I've done my skincare. Now I'm gonna do my hair because I don't want to look like any who all day, you know. I don't want to look like any who. I'm not gonna wash my hands. Just wash my hands because I don't like putting the products that I put on my face in my hair. So I already have thinning hair. It grows and it comes. My hair might be full again in 6 months. All this thin stuff might be full again. And then 6 months later, it might be thin again. So I've gotten used to it to the point that I just, when it's really thin and I need to give my hair a break, I do just that. I give it a break. And I wear a wig. I wear a wig. So I was going to try this right here. Somebody, I bought this off a young lady. It's supposed to be rosemary. It's supposed to be good for the scalp. So I said I was going to try it. So I'm going to put some up in here. I'll have to dye my hair too because I don't do gray. I know some people do gray. Donna's not one of them. So Donna will be dyeing her hair real soon. Because Donna, like I say, Donna doesn't do gray. It's time for me to get some more of this right here. Because I don't want to come out. But this is what this is. And I know it's backwards on your thing, so it's called Curl Fresh. I'm not using my iPhone. The iPhone, it's not backwards. But on I have an old iPad, so my iPad is backwards. I apologize for that. Sometimes, and I guess I may start just using my iPhone more for my videos. So when I'm showing stuff, it's not backwards on you. So you see it up in here, how thin it is right in there. So all back here is thick. I put that in my hair. And this, which it says Curl Maker, put that in my hair. I wash my hair often. Sometimes in the summer, I might wash my hair every other day because I don't like my scalp to feel gooey from the sweat. So sometimes I might wash it every day. And other times I may not. Depends on what's going on with my hair. My hair reaches down here, as you can see. So I do have length, but I have a lot of shrinkage, which is normal with natural hair. I went back to the relaxer the early part of last year. Cut 14, maybe might be more than that off, because I just cut it off and started over. I've cut more than 14 inches off my hair several times. trying to get it where I need it to be as far as my scalp wise and things. So I thought that the relaxer was causing my hair to thin in the top, and then I found out it wasn't because it's still doing it. And I don't have a relaxer. I stopped putting all chemicals in it to see, and it still was doing it. So that's when I realized that had nothing to do with no chemicals. This has to do with what's going to go on with Donna's hair. So I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is. It's not going to define me. So, like I said, if I need to put a wig on, then that's what your girl going to do, put a wig on. I don't know what that is right there, but let's get it out. That's what your girl gonna do, put a wig on and keep it moving. So, I don't wear a whole lot of makeup. Every now and then if I'm going somewhere, maybe on a date night or something like that, I might wear makeup. But other than that, I don't really wear makeup like that. Maybe some. Now I do wear mascara and eyeshadow and eyeliner every day, pretty much. But that's about it. So this is my morning routine. Everyone, I use the same identical products in the morning, but in the evening, I use, like I said, I have a 7-day rotation in the evening for my skincare. Because I like to stay looking young as long as possible. Or, well, not looking young, just looking the way I like to look. Put it like that. So, as long as possible. My lip stuff is hiding from me. So this is the mascara that I use. It's by Maybelline. I love it. I know some people get false eyelashes and all that. I'm not into all that, even though I started to. Then I said, taking care of those false eyelashes is too much work. When I can just put this on right here and be done with it. You know what I mean? Some stuff is just not all of that for me. Might be for you, but not for me. So, this is what a 66-year-old does. Or this is what this 66-year-old does. And will continue to do. As long as I'm in the land of the living. Because I like to look a certain way. And if I'm in the house, most of the time I'm in loungewear or pajamas. But like I said, this is most of the time what I wear, something like this. It has pockets. And I think I look presentable. I'm in the house. If I'm out, then you know. Sometimes my husband would be like, come on, I don't have time for you to get dressed. So I'm not getting out of the car. I'll get in there. He had me, although he took me the other day, he had me walking around in Costco's in my pajamas. But they were clean. I had just put them on, just like I just put these on. I had already taken my shower and everything, and because I do my shower prior to doing my skincare and everything. Because like I say, if I'm in the house, I'm in my lounge. So I put me on a fresh set. I have probably about 30 or 40 of these. Because that's what I wear when I'm at home. So I have enough that I can change out through the day. So I'm gonna put this in my hair too. I didn't do it. So I have stuff that I can change out. I do, instead of putting on regular clothes after I take my shower, this is what I put on. So I'm not walking around in no funky pajamas. Not walking around in pajamas I done slept in and all that. I'm not, it's not that. I just wear them like you might wear jeans or whatever. I just love I love being comfortable in my house, in my jammies. Although a lot of people say they look very nice, and they're listed as a lounge set. They're not listed as a pajama. So, anywho, I appreciate y'all. Hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel. And continue to watch, because I fish, I hunt, I cook, I bake, and I'm starting a garden this year. So I'll probably be just fertilizing the dirt because I started it late. But yeah, so this is Donna. I wrote a book this year. So I'm pretty pleased to have been blessed to stay here longer than what man said that I was supposed to stay here. But then man doesn't have the ultimate say so. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Bye.